It's been a while, but I'm here to review some Nintendo Switch slop. Okay, so the first Nintendo Switch slop here, let me pull it up, is a World End Syndrome, or Wuldaru Endaru Syndromeru, as they pronounce it in the video game. And it is a Japanese game, it is a visual novel, and this game, I have to call out the developers and warn anyone who downloads the demo and then tries to play the game and then buys the game. It's a total bamboozle. Don't fucking do it. Okay, so first off, you're playing the demo. And you're basically a complete ripoff of the intro of Higurashi. You're a boy, and you're coming to this other world town because of things that happened in your other town that are making it hard for you to live your life. And your sister died, so you blah blah blah. But like that's kind of like only vaguely referenced or whatever. You don't really know what's going on, and oh my god, it's so sad. So you're on this train, and okay, here's the game. It's loaded up. Let me fucking just sham it into the fucking webcam. Okay, so look at the blue-haired girl in the back. You see the blue-haired girl? You meet her on the train. It could not be any more fucking obvious in this game that the blue-haired girl is your sister. Like, it was the first fucking thing that I thought. Like, I don't know. It's so fucking obvious. Like, you're going to this town, there's like, oh, World End Syndrome and Yomi Bido and like ghosts of dead people coming back. Like, obviously the blue-haired girl that you meet, let me put it back up there so you can look at it. The blue-haired girl, right there, you meet her on the train. Obviously she's your sister. So like in the story, of course, there are scenes where she like cock teases you about taking her clothes off or something, which was like, I thought was amazing because I read reviews of her arc in the game and how like it's not sexualized, and there's like at least one cock teasing scene between you and her. So yeah, I guess visual novel reviewers, readers just lack reading comprehension. Like, they're so dumb, they need the game to tell them what the fuck is going on. I'm just gonna actually load into a new game. The screen is bright as fuck right now, so I apologize. I'm gonna load into a new game and show you what I mean. Let me go over here to the fucking confirm menus. Let me talk more about the demo. So the demo, you start off and it's just fucking stupid is all I can describe it. So you go around to these different locations in town, and each one is this like planned event where you're like fucking around. You're like talking to this friend, you're talking to that friend, you're talking to this other friend, and it's all like a planned excursion. And it's kind of like going from like elementary school to like college, where it's like, you know, okay, so you're in elementary school in the demo, right? And everything that you do is predetermined. You can't fuck anything up in the demo. So it seems like it's a normal visual novel where you are always doing things and you're always reading things that are like pushing the plot forward. Like, two classmates like die in the prologue. I mean, they're completely not named. I mean, they are named after they die, but like they don't even have sprites. So it's like kind of weird that these characters that are supposed to be like making it seem like the story is like a big deal die, but they're also like literally who's like you never see them and they never come up again after you get out of the demo. So it's like kind of like fucking dumb. Okay, so here we go. Here is the character in the prologue. Oh yeah, of course she's telling us to get up on the train and blah, 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 right? I don't know. My first thought was like, oh, because like you read like the little like splurb about the thing or some shit in the beginning, and it's like, oh, his sister's dead. And it's like, oh, this must be his sister. Like, this isn't really a journalist. This is like he either doesn't remember it's his sister or like some other shit. And yeah, so spoilers though, but it's a sister. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Doesn't mean anything. The game's fucking trash. There is no plot. The plot is the dumbest thing I've ever read in my life, and I've read a lot of dumb shit. So the demo, it baits you because it's like a normal visual novel where shit's happening, and then you buy the game. You buy the game and you start playing it. And then let me fucking reload back to the game. So I have to reload the game again. So let me just fill this with a bunch of fucking pointless air. So you get into the game, you're finally playing the main story, and boy, you have to play through like 28 days of the game to get to the bad end. And then that like kind of baits you into like getting a real route. So how the game works is basically it's like Ganguru Girl Dating Simulator, or those like flash game dating simulators back in the day. So you have to go around town to random fucking locations and pray to God that the girl that you want to like get on her route is there and that you can talk with her. So first, full stop, you cannot play this game without a guide. I tried to play this game without a guide. I was a fucking idiot. I wasted all my fucking time. So let me just load this file up here and I can show you what I mean. So don't play this fucking game. That's my constant. Okay, here we go. Here's all the fucking days. Look at this shit. Okay, you missed it. Okay, now I'm in the home. I'm just gonna skip past this dumb shit. I don't care. Oh, one of the routes in the game, you can date your cousin. So that, for those fucking weirdos out there, Jesus Christ, why is this shit going on so long? Can I skip this shit? Oh no, it's the end of the fucking game. Okay, I need to load. Oh, I can just look at the town. Oh, that doesn't tell me where the. Oh my god, dude. How the fuck? How do I get? How do I load? Not dogs. Return to title. Yes, please. So yeah, every day you have to go to random locations. There's like 8 locations in town, and there's 3 times during the day. And you have to go to random locations and pray to God that the girl that you want to hang out with is at one of those locations, because you have to build up like aura points with each girl in order to unlock their route. But even after you unlock their route, you have to go to random locations and see them consistently, and there's some fail days where if you don't see them on a certain day, then you get kicked off their route. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Here's what I mean. Look at this stupid shit. On the left there, you can see like all the locations that I can go to: mansion, school, station, seafront, suburbs, forest, manor. Those are all the places you can go to every fucking day. And then I've already been to some of these, so you see bubbles, you see little like profile pictures of some of the characters of where I already know they are. So in order to play this game without a guide, you would need to play through it probably 90 times to get to every location and to test where everyone is at every time of the day for all like 28 or 25 days. So the game is designed insane. It is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It is. There should have been like a few choices at the beginning, and then you're just locked into a route. It should not have been, oh, I can fuck up my whole story experience, because there are little moments of like, oh, I see them here, and then oh, I see them there, and it kind of works. But you could have just written it like, oh, I'm walking downtown right now because of blah, and I ran into blah. So what is this all worth? What do you get for running into one of the people that you need to run into? Like what you finally ran into fucking Saya. She's hanging out in her manor. You finally ran into her. What do you get? You will get a 2 to 3 line like dialogue interaction, and then that's it. So all of your effort is for the like drop of sweat that the writer spared for this one scene. It is so fucking dog shit. So, I guess let's look at the characters now, because we have nothing else to talk about in this dog shit game. Okay, so Maimi. Okay, let's just load her up. Now, you know what? Let's not talk about her, because I've been really ragging on the game. Let's talk about the best character. The only reason you're playing this game, okay? So here we go. We got Saya. The fucking face isn't loading in. Give it a second here. Okay, she's like a kawaii blonde. Okay, maybe I'll like load up the big images. Where the fuck are the pictures? What the fuck? Ice cream? Oh yeah, there's this stupid mechanic in the game where you like go and find fucking ice cream cones or some fucking stupid shit. Okay, here we go. This is good. Okay, hopefully this won't blow the fucking shit out so we can see the character. Yeah, fucking autocorrect. Okay, so there's Saya. She is a member of a very rich family in the town, and she is 15 years old, and the game really wants you to know that she's 15 years old. That's very important. And she's the best character in the game. She's the only reason to play the game. All the other characters are fucking dog shit in comparison. And I don't mean that like, oh, this is my favorite character and all the other characters I just didn't vibe with. No, sincerely, the other characters' stories and plots and arcs and everything is just stupid, nonsensical, and just incredibly stupid. So Saya's arc is that she was adopted, or she has suspicions that she was adopted into this family because her mom left her abusive other husband, and there's this weird Japanese law that like if a child is born within earlier than 90 days or within 90 days of a new marriage, then the previous relationship man can claim the child. It's this weird paternity law. I mean, I guess it makes sense because obviously the new person maybe wouldn't have had time before the marriage, but it's fucking weird. So there's this weird Japanese law at play that's like putting her paternity in question, and her arc is like one, coming to terms with this reality, but then also coming to terms with the esteem of like, well, maybe I'm not really born into this family, so I've worked very hard to earn my way in this family, but actually, you know, I'm just naturally so good that regardless of actually being a true-blooded Kamashiro person, I deserve to be here. And like that's her arc, and that concludes in her route. It concludes very fast at the end of the story. It's like breakneck pacing at the end. They were really just like, okay, 5 lines and we're done. But that's her arc, and it's interesting, and it's generally well executed. In terms of the relationship and the romance part of it, I thought hers was the most genuine and sincere and not fucking stupid. Like it's pretty interesting. She like first hires you as her assistant, and then it's like, oh, I don't need you to be my assistant tomorrow. I have someone else. Oh, also, what are you doing Saturday? Or it's the funniest fucking phrase. I thought it was hilarious. She's like, oh, I don't need you to be my assistant tomorrow. I have someone else. Oh, what are you doing on the 16th? Oh, I don't know. I'm not really doing anything. Okay, well, come with me to this place or whatever. And it's like, you look at the 16th on the calendar, that's literally tomorrow. It's like, okay, you don't need me to be your assistant tomorrow, but then now you're asking me to basically hang out tomorrow. Okay. It's just this weird little kind of thing where it's like, is this a date? What's going on? And then that's how the relationship just kind of progressed, where like you're hanging out and you're kind of her assistant, but like she's also kind of using that as an excuse to like keep you around. And like the whole time, the whole like assistant stuff is like being talked about, I'm just imagining like that your assistant duties are like you're her personal toilet, and she's like taking you up to the hotel room that her family owns, and she's just like shitting in your mouth constantly. So that part of the game was awesome. Okay, 10 out of 10. And there's a really good scene I just want to show you. Okay, so if you're a puritanical person, do not watch, turn off the video, okay? This is safe for YouTube though, but when I'm describing the scene, this might be a little extreme for people with a more puritanical sense, so I apologize. Okay, so here's a really cool scene where Saya, she's like straddling the main character, and so during this scene the main character is like, oh, you're 15 years old, you're a kindergartner or whatever, and it's like, well, obviously she's not a kindergartner because, you know, like 15-year-olds aren't in kindergarten, right? But she gets mad, and she oh my god, I accidentally fell on top of you on the bed. But then she's like if you still think I'm a child, I'm ready to prove that I'm not a child or whatever. And it's like, wow, what is she gonna do on the bed? What's happening there? You know, like, oh, how is she gonna prove that she's not a child? Now, obviously, before this turns into like, you know, some hentai kind of shit, some character like it breaks in the house, and then the dark plot happens, and that fucking sucks. Basically, it's like the guy who claims to be her real dad, and he's just like a fucking nut job. I think he ends up getting murdered in the end, and good, fuck him. So that's the best character, and that's the best story, and it's pretty good. I actually quite enjoyed it. But once again, you can't play it without a walkthrough, because otherwise you won't know how to find Saya every day to interact with her. And if you miss a single day, there are moments of storytelling that will just be lost on you. So you have to play with the guide. You have to see Saya every day to see the development of that plot consistently enough to feel like it's having an impact, in my opinion. So if you play the game the way it's meant to be played, which is just randomly stumbling around town and walking into people, you will have a fucking miserable experience. So I want to talk a little bit about Maimi. She is your cousin, and that's mentioned the first thing when you meet her, because you're both living at your uncle's mansion, but there's no parental supervision, and it's just you and Maimi, and she constantly makes comments of like, well, the first thing she does is she like drunkenly stumbles into your room with her like shirt unbuttoned or some shit. And then of course she blames you. She's kind of like the tsundere character, but she's not even tsundere. She's just fucking like crazy. So there's a whole subplot. There's like, she has like 5 subplots. They all suck. There's this radio host that does this stupid talk at night in the game. It's some of the worst writing I've ever read in my life. It's very fucking stupid. And she's that character, which was so obvious. Like when you're on, like, it's so funny how this game is just like, the twists that it holds are like it's so obvious. Like here, I'm gonna hold up the characters again. Hopefully you can see them. So there's 2 pink-haired girls. Okay, it's kind of coming in. Okay, so there's 2 pink-haired girls. Why the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna lower the brightness because it's so fucking bright. But there's 2 pink-haired girls. Rei, some fucking shit, and Hanako, some fucking shit. Wow, you really wouldn't believe it, but but guys, wait till you hear this. Hanako and Rei. Yeah, Hanako. Oh my god, fucking. Get the picture good. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Turn it like, okay, say Hanako and Rei. Yeah, they're the same fucking character, obviously. But the game fucking like tries to pretend they're not the same character. And it's like, there are hints, and then there are like obvious hints, and it's so annoying. Because like, I could not give less of a fuck. She's like an idol character. She's just the big boobed, oh, look at me, I'm awkward and shy and I'm hiding my personality. But then I also go out to like these sacred lands and take off my clothes and I'm in a swimsuit getting photographed. Dude, if you like that route, I'm sorry. You have a cuck fetish. And so speaking of cuck fetish, we have to go back to talking about Maimi. So Maimi, she is, if you like incest, you have to suffer for it, because her route literally has her going up into a hotel room with a 25-year-old man and getting fucking her back blown out under your nose when you're supposedly in love with her and dating her. And the game is so pathetic because, you know, it has you kind of confess to her, and it's really pathetic. Like, there's this, like, kind of... The scenario is so fucking dumb. Okay, so Maimi won a contest to do a radio show when she was 15 years old, okay? She is 16 now. And she does the late-night radio show, and the Mibu, who is Saya's brother, he is the son of the big rich family. He liked this radio show and wanted to support it, but part of his support was like, oh, I want to talk to the radio show lady, and you know, whatever. And so basically he's using his influence and money to pursue a 15-year-old at the time high school girl to fuck him, and that's it. And the radio owner is like, oh no, please hang out with him, we need the money, blah blah blah. So she's like, oh okay. And like, they're going up to like hotel rooms and hanging out together, and it's just the most pathetic thing, because he hangs out at the school. He's a 25-year-old guy hanging out at a high school who is mad when a 15/16-year-old girl won't date him, and nobody calls this out. I have no words. It is the most pathetic and stupid thing I have ever seen in my life. And I have no doubt that this occurs. But the fact that even the teacher was a classmate to Mibu. So your teacher, who is 25 years old, doesn't even also call this out. I have spoilers for you, but a 25-year-old man and a 15/16-year-old girl should not be hanging out at a bar. Yeah. The context in the game does not make it okay. It is weird, it is pathetic, and the fact that nobody calls out Mibu's behavior is astonishing. It is genuinely shocking. And it's not like the game is written in a way of like, oh, he's so powerful, he can do what he wants, and he can pursue girls that normally society wouldn't allow him. No, it had nothing to do with that. So if you are an incest person, I'm sorry, but you have to get cucked, because Maimi is getting her fucking ass and vagina blown out by Mibu every fucking night. and he's probably used like 1,000 different sex toys on all of her holes. So that's the price you have to pay for being into incest. And those are the 2 routes I played of the game. I'm probably not going to play it anymore because I do not care about actual sister incest. Yukino's character is written to, you know, ooh, I'm Genki fun, ha ha ha, like too much fucking bullshit. The fucking idol girl, boring as shit, could not give less of a fuck about, absolutely F tier. And then here, let me show you the true route character. Let me see if I even have like a bigger album picture of her. Where the fuck is she? I don't have a bigger album picture of her, so I have to go to the character screen. So Mew, she is 17-year-old, so she is the most, you know, mature character. The fucking just won't load. Just fucking zoom it. Oh, almost there. Come on, come on. Okay, there. She looks like that. There. So she is the quiet girl. If you remember that girl from fucking the Diarrhea of Suzumiha show, she's like the really demure, like ooh, 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 like, oh, I'm so shy, and I say like 1 or 2 words when we have conversations, and that's it. And so her character, her brother is a pervert, and dresses her up in this like gothic Lolita maid outfit, and that's genuinely the reason. The reason she dresses like that is because her brother literally wants to fuck his sister, and that's why she's wearing that outfit. That's the verbatim stated reason in the game. I mean, obviously it's not stated that he wants to fuck his sister, but it's like, oh yeah, we put this outfit on her, and she like, I started dressing her up, you know, when she was younger, and now she's comfortable wearing these outfits. And it's just like the most disturbingly perverted kind of shit I've ever seen in a non-porn game. It's gross. Japanese people, what the fuck are you doing? Anyway, she is the true route character. And the game tries to bait you into thinking that she's the killer because she shows up in the bad end, and it's like, oh my god, there she is, I died, it must be her. But it's like, if you actually read it, it's like she was outside the door. Like, obviously she didn't kill me, it was somebody else. She's probably just trying to help. And also the way she shows up, it's the same thing as Sadako from Higurashi. So this game fucking sucks. Do not read it. Do not spend money on it. World End Syndrome, 0 out of 10. But the Saya route, pretty good. 6 out of 10. I quite enjoyed her story. I thought that was pretty good. Only with the guide. But don't play the game. Mew's character fucking sucks. Here's the shit that I guessed at the beginning of the game. I guessed that Yukino was my sister. Yep. Obviously that's true. Yukino is a Yomibito slash character that's like a ghost. That's like the whole plot of the game. Oh, by the way, when you play these routes of like Saya and Maimi, there is no plot development. Nothing happens in the game. The plot of like discovering who is killing these people that's set up in the demo never occurs during the whole course of Maimi or Saya's stories. It's like background window dressing. Nobody even pays lip service to their dead classmates in the main game from the demo. That's how bad the writing is. So yeah, this is a 0 out of 10. I see people praising this game, and I see people criticizing this game, but the people who praise this game, you're just wrong. It's okay to be wrong, but please identify when you're just like actually reading just straight garbage. Like, you need to lower your fucking, increase your standards. Okay, so that's dog shit game. So I want to talk about some Switch slop that I was playing. Where the fuck is it? Okay, not this game. Okay, Sea of Stars. Here's another one. I'm just gonna go right in this. You can fucking see it. This is some fucking slop. Sea of Stars. It's over there. Everyone online says this game is great. Sea of Stars. What does it has going for it? It has great art. Great art. The art is amazing. The soundtrack, forgettable. I don't remember a single song. The story, one of the worst stories I've ever seen in my life. It is so fucking stupid, and I have to explain why it's dumb, okay, right now. There is justification later in the game to make the stupidness make more sense, but it is just bad. So the main reason why the story is bad is that there is a fat friend named Garl who is literally the most self-insert Gary Stu character I've ever seen. Everyone loves him. He has the most lines in the game, even though he's the most insignificant character with the least power. When he isn't in the screen, everyone's like, where's Garl? He is literally toxic positivity. Like, they will be in an unwinnable scenario, and he'll be like, oh, we can just believe and we're gonna win, yeah! Like, he's just so fucking stupid. But that's not even the worst part of it. So Garo's character is fucking garbage, but there is actually a worse thing for Sea of Stars. So in the game, you're these stupid warriors that can use sun and moon magic, and there are these beasts from the Fleshmancer on the planet, and there was one beast that like caused the death of many of these astral warriors, and because of that, the two remaining astral warriors, other than the two main characters, basically betray you and work with the agents of the Fleshmancer to like go to a new world. And they're like, oh, this is okay. So immediately when they show this betrayal, there's like raining down fucking death, and they're like, oh, but this is like going to be a good thing, and blah blah blah, and it's so fucking stupid. So there's one thing that people justify the betrayal, because there is another dweller monster on the planet that they weren't able to deal with, because when you leave the area, you forget that it exists for like when you go to get backup. But it's like, okay, if they forgot that it existed, how would they know to be concerned about it, that they couldn't beat it? Like, it's like, huh? Whatever. There's like some lore justification later, like, oh, he was always weak and he wanted to protect his friend, and then his friend like craved power, and so maybe they're kind of being like corrupted and they're gonna go to another planet, and it's like, but like, why would you're literally letting the guy who wants to destroy all these worlds help you go to a new world that isn't destroyed. Are you fucking stupid? Like, they're just going to, that would be like if you as an American citizen went to like fucking Osama bin Laden and were like, I need you to help me get healthcare. That's how fucking stupid that is. And what is he going to do? He's just going to he's going to ransom you. You fucking moron. Like, he's not going to help you get the thing that you want. He's going to use you for his own ends, which is obviously what happens. The fucking girl character turns into a demon monster bitch, and then the guy character is like a dumb loser idiot. The two, like, you know, past mentor was whatever. So the game is just fucking terrible in terms of the story. The gameplay is okay, but it just never evolves past the first 5 hours. You have very low health pool, very low mana pool, and you have to do a lot of basic attacks to get mana back. And then you do these like button combos. Every attack in the game has a timing metric. That is fucking grueling. And the game constantly states, and apparently this was a patch, but the game constantly states, it's no big deal if you hit the button things. The game isn't balanced around that. But if you hit the timings, you do like 25 to 50% more damage. Or you take 25 to 50% less damage. You can't tell me that the button timings don't matter, but then also make the timings for the buttons, one, the window is very small, and two, make it so that they are that impactful. You are fucking lying to the people playing the game, and you didn't even patch it to make it less impactful. You just patched it to like soothe people and say, oh, it's no big deal if you don't hit it, but it is a big deal. You do a lot more damage. Like, there's one button press for the moonerang that you can literally like go infinite and get like 99 fucking hits on it if you land it every time. With the ceiling that high, you can't tell me it doesn't matter if I land the button presses on the right timing. You're fucking lying. So the one saving grace of Sea of Stars is that the art is good. The writing, 0 out of 10. Some of the worst writing I've ever seen. There's a point in the game where a fat character shows up and starts making fun of the game and other games of the same style, while also being just a shitty derivative version of Chrono Trigger, basically. It is laughable. It is pathetic that a game can be so insecure in its own story that it needs to call out the stupid shit that it's doing. And it's not even doing any of those things well. That is pathetic. So fucking pathetic. But yeah, the game fucking, after 20 plus hours, I can't finish it. It is a fucking grueling slog. The art is cool, but boy, the fucking characters are just terrible. The two main characters have the personalities of a fucking piece of like wet paper towel. They have nothing to say in any scene. They literally have less lines than Garl. And Garl is not an astral warrior. He is just their friend. And he just cooks food. And Garl has more lines than them. And Garl has more personality. Unfortunately, Garl's personality is toxic positivity at all times, constantly, in every situation, no matter how fucking miserable, terrible things are. Even when his friends leave him moments after he gets his fucking eye fucking destroyed by a monster. And his friends leave him for 10 years, and you think Garl's going to be the main villain because he'll feel like his friends betrayed him. No, the tone of the game completely shifts, and Garl is just there happily waiting for you to return to him after 10 fucking years. That's astonishing. The people that wrote this game must have never had a friend in their life, because there is no fucking way in what is set up at the beginning of the game, in the prologue, and then what occurs at the end of it would ever happen in any fantasy world whatsoever. What the fuck is wrong with Garl's character? There is nothing in that society. There's nothing anywhere to indicate that he should be this positive, unless he is literally the god of this world and he's just fucking around. Which maybe that's the secret ending, but I'm not going around and collecting all the rainbow conches for that shit. I'm not playing the game anymore. Fuck it. So that's my Switch Slop roundup. There's some other games I played. Chained Echoes, 0 out of 10. It looks like an RPG Maker game. And I just don't care about the random shit in combat. It just looks like ass. I don't care. If you like turn-based games that are soulless and look like ass, maybe that's for you, but otherwise don't play it. But a game you should play, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. The first, 2 hours of Xenoblade Chronicles, a definitive edition. Now, this is Xenoblade Chronicles 1, mind you, is some of the most pure kino I've ever seen in an RPG game in my entire life. But don't play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or 3, because those games look like a schizophrenic mess of shit and piss and just weird, pathetic baiting. The girls are in short shorts with thongs coming out of their ass. I don't know. Does anyone have standards when it comes to JRPGs? I just could never be attracted to a character that is that slutty. If you're walking around and your ass is barely covered and you're showing it off to the whole world, I do not want to pursue a relationship with you. I do not find that attractive. I find that to be grotesque, honestly. So no, I do not find any of that shit nice or cool or hot or anything. So Xenoblade Chronicles, the characters are more subdued, and it's important to note that if you want to dress the characters up in, swimsuits, because you can do that in Xenoblade Chronicles 1, the player chooses to do that, but the game doesn't force that to happen. Whereas in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the characters are basically in porn outfits 24/7, and then they act like it's just bad. It's just bad. It's just bad writing. It's bad because there's a scene where the character is like, oh, your outfit is chewed by cobwebs. And it's like she's wearing the most pristine outfit and there's nothing wrong with it. They didn't even do anything to make it look dirty. So the writing is here and then the art is over here. And it's we kind of need to be aligned for it to make sense, but they couldn't even do that, because they wanted the character to be constant masturbatory fuel for the people that are playing the game. And that's where you get that WebM from for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where it's low semen count and fucking Shadow the Hedgehog is flying by the screen, and then you have to put in $5 to refill your semen charges because you're constantly busting nuts when you're playing the game. But you have to remember and respect at the end of the day that you're busting nuts to a character that everyone is busting nuts to, that is purposely designed for everyone in the whole game world, not just in terms of the players, but everyone in the diegetic story world is also just busting nuts to this character too. So it's the most cuck simulator shit you could imagine, and I do not respect the game, and I hate it. But Xenoblade Chronicles 1, pure kino, 10 out of 10, except for the stupid character that drives the buggy into the bridge barrier and then says, who puts this barrier here? I'm mad when if he didn't hit the barrier, he would have driven off the bridge and died. That character is astonishingly stupid, and there isn't enough stories where characters who are fucking stupid get called out for being like, dude, you are so fucking dumb, and I should kill you right now because you put everyone at risk, and you're just dumb. You're just so dumb. You're too dumb to live. The only reason you live is because the main character saved your dumb ass, and I think we should have games where we just call that out, you know, instead of just like, okay, now he's really dumb, but then they save him and then he's dumb again. Oh my God. It's like, nah. When we're fighting for our survival, we do not have time to tolerate stupidity. The stupid person has got to be doing the dumbest job. He's got to be hitting rocks with a hammer all day. He should not be in charge of rebuilding our society like they put him in charge of later on in the game. What the fuck were they thinking? I don't know. Anyway, this was my soy roundup, my Switch soy roundup. Thank you for listening, and bye.